I went camping a few weeks ago in the Appalachian Mountains. I thought it would be a good way to dive into local folklore for my podcast. I was excited to spend time in nature and get away from the city. I set up my camp near a quiet trailhead. It was peaceful at first. The smell of pine filled the air and the birds sang around me. I cooked some food and relaxed by the fire, happy to be outdoors. Everything seemed normal. I figured I would gather some interesting stories from my time there. On my second night, around midnight, I heard a tapping sound coming from the woods. At first, it was faint, but it grew louder. I thought it might be a small animal, but who hears tapping in the woods? I stayed still, listening closely. The tapping didn't stop. My heart began to race, and that uneasy feeling crept in. It felt like an invitation to explore. Each night after that, the tapping came back. I heard soft laughter and whispers that seemed to dance just out of reach. My gut twisted every time. One day, I spoke to an elderly local. She mentioned strange things happening there, like people vanishing without a trace. I thought she was exaggerating. I just needed to be careful. The longer I hiked those paths, the more I felt something watching me. I noticed shadows moving between trees, and I jumped at every little sound. My heart raced. I'm not easily scared, but something felt very off. One evening, as I was walking back to my camp, I passed an old, abandoned cabin. The door creaked with every gust of wind. I felt drawn to it, but terrified at the same time. I peeked through the window and saw nothing but dust, just a darkness inside. I brushed it off and headed back to my tent, but that night the tapping was louder than before. My heart pounded with every echo. Then I noticed symbols carved into the trees surrounding my campsite. They were weird and crude, maybe some kind of local art, or something worse. I felt cold. I wanted to leave, but decided to pack up in the morning. As I zipped up my tent, I heard the laughter again, this time much closer. It echoed through the trees. I stood frozen, confused. I thought I was losing it. But then a voice whispered, "Why are you here?" I turned around and nobody was there. Panic set in. I rushed out of that campsite, heart racing. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was still watching me. I never looked back. I reached my car and drove away, still thinking about what happened and why I had gone there in the first place. Who or what had been hiding in those woods? I didn't know, but I hoped I'd never find out. I didn't stop driving until I reached a small diner on the outskirts of town. Needed food and a place to think. It was bright inside, a stark contrast to the dark woods I'd just left. A waitress approached, her smile warm but curious. "Long night, huh?" she asked. I just nodded, too exhausted to share my story. I ordered coffee and a slice of pie, watching the other customers chat and laugh. They seemed oblivious to the strange things that lurked in the woods. I wished I could forget too. While I sat there, my mind raced. I couldn't shake the sound of laughter or the feeling of being watched. I took out my phone, hoping to find someone to talk to. My podcast's social media had been quiet lately, but I wanted to share my experience. As I typed, a notification popped up, a message from a follower I didn't recognize. "Be careful in those woods. They don't like visitors." I set the phone down, a chill running down my spine. Who was this person? What did they know? I glanced out the window, half expecting to see shadows slinking through the trees. Instead, I saw nothing, just the diner parking lot bathed in sunlight. After finishing my pie, I needed more answers. I grabbed my phone again and searched its history. I found a thread about urban legends in the area. One story jumped out at me, the tale of the Whispering Woods. According to the legend, people would hear laughter and whispers, drawing them deeper into the forest until they vanished. The locals believed it was best to stay away. I remembered what the elderly woman had said. Maybe she was right after all. I decided to ask the waitress about the legend. Her expression went serious, and she leaned closer. "It's not just a story. People have gone missing. Some come back. Different. Just be careful." Her words weighed heavily on me. I felt a mix of fear and curiosity. I had already had a taste of the strange, and my instinct pushed me to know more. I paid the bill and left, my mind racing with thoughts of returning. Was there a chance I could capture something for the podcast? Or was it suicidal to go back? Back in my car, I found myself driving toward the mountains again. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. I knew I shouldn't go back, but something pulled me in. As I neared the trailhead, unease settled in the pit of my stomach. I remembered the whispers, the tapping, and the strange symbols etched into the trees. I parked near the old cabin again, feeling that familiar draw. I stepped out, heart racing, adrenaline coursing through me. The air was different, thicker, charged with something I couldn't define. I walked up to the cabin, curiosity clawing at me. Something compelled me to look inside again. But as I approached, a branch snapped behind me. I turned quickly, adrenaline spiking. No one was there. At least that's what I thought.
Then I saw it. A figure standing just beyond the tree line, staring. Everything inside me screamed to run, but instead I felt anchored in place. I couldn't tear my eyes away. I needed to know who or what it was. I blinked, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. The figure was tall and shadowy, partially obscured by the dense underbrush. My heart pounded in my chest, and I felt a mix of fear and insane curiosity. It didn't move, it just stared. I wanted to scream, to call out and break the silence, but my voice felt trapped in my throat. I forced myself to take a step closer. The forest was eerily quiet, not even the sound of birds in the trees. Each footfall felt heavy, echoing in the stillness. As I drew nearer, I noticed the figure had a peculiar shape, almost unnatural. Was it human, or something else entirely? "Hello?" I managed to croak out, my voice barely above a whisper. The figure didn't respond. Instead, it tilted its head slightly, as if assessing me. I felt a shiver crawl down my spine. Without thinking, I fished my phone out of my pocket. I needed a flashlight, some sort of reassurance. The glow from my phone illuminated the area around me, casting long shadows. When I pointed the light back at the figure, it flinched, retreating a few steps into the brush. My breath caught. Was I scaring it, or was it simply going to run away? "Wait!" I called, desperation creeping into my voice. I took another step, determined not to let it slip away. But before I could move any closer, I caught a glimpse of something else, a symbol carved into the tree nearby. It was the same as the ones I had seen before. My pulse quickened as a dark thought settled in. Was this thing connected to the whispers, to the missing people? What if it wanted me to follow? Just then, I caught the laughter again. It echoed through the woods, bright and taunting. My instincts screamed for me to leave, to forget this place. But something, fear, curiosity, or perhaps a foolish desire for answers, kept me rooted to the spot. I focused on the words of the waitress. Some come back, different. What did that mean? Before I could dissect the thought further, the figure waved its hand, beckoning me. My breath hitched as a strangely compelling urge surged within me to follow, to discover what lay deeper in the woods. I hesitated, sweat beading on my forehead. Was this an invitation or a trap? Suddenly, the laughter transformed into a cacophony of voices, so loud I couldn't think straight. Panic surged through me, and I stumbled backward, my heart racing. I needed to escape. Just as I turned to sprint back, a hand grabbed my shoulder. I spun around, adrenaline flooding my system. "Who's there?" I snapped, but my voice wavered. I held the phone out like a shield, illuminating
the space around me. That's when I saw it. It was a woman, her eyes wide with fear, shaking her head urgently. "You can't go in there. It's not safe." My mind reeled. Who was she? How did she know what I was planning? The whispers grew louder, drowning out the pounding of my heart. I shot a glance back toward the tree line, where the figure had been. It was gone. Now I had two mysteries unraveling before me. What was the figure, and who was this woman? I felt an overwhelming sense of dread as I realized my night was far from over. I stood frozen, the woman's grip still firm on my shoulder. I could feel the panic radiating off her. "Please, you have to listen to me," she urged, glancing nervously over her shoulder as if expecting something to emerge from the shadows. "Who are you?" I demanded, pulling away slightly. My instincts told me to trust her, but I was still shaken. "My name is Anna," she said quickly. "I've been looking for you. You shouldn't be here. None of us should be." Her words came tumbling out in a rush, laced with urgency. "This place is cursed. It attracts them." "Who? What do you mean?" I struggled to piece together the situation. Cursed? Attracted? Nothing made sense. "The figure you saw, it's not just a shadow. It's a warden, and it's watching. It's been taking people for years. Some never come back. And the ones that do," she hesitated, her eyes darkening with fear, "they're not the same. They bring something back with them, something unnatural." As she spoke, those words from the waitress echoed in my mind. Some come back different. Suddenly, I felt sick. "But why me?" I asked, my voice shaky. "I haven't done anything." "It doesn't matter," Anna replied, her gaze darting around us. "It chooses. That's the whole point. It senses curiosity or fear, and it pulls you in. We have to leave, now." Just then, a soft rustle came from the bushes to our left. I felt my stomach drop. Anna's eyes widened, and she grabbed my hand, pulling me away from the noise. My heart raced as we stumbled backward, trying to put distance between us and whatever was lurking in the dark. "Where are we going?" I asked, panic creeping into my voice. "What do we do?" "There's a cabin nearby," she replied, her breathing heavy. "It's not far, but we have to move fast." Before I could respond, the laughter rang out again, louder now and closer. It mixed with the whispers, a swirling cacophony swirling around us. My mind raced, and fear gripped me tightly. "Come on," Anna pulled me forward, not waiting for my reply. We moved quickly, branches snagging at my clothes, the beams of my phone flickering awkwardly as I aimed it ahead. Just as we burst through a thicket, the underbrush opened up into a small clearing. There, half hidden by trees, stood a cabin.
Dilapidated cabin, its windows dark and foreboding. We hurried toward it, but I could feel eyes watching us from the shadows, the same eyes that had drawn me before. Every instinct screamed to run, but Anna didn't falter. "Just a little further," she urged. As we reached the cabin door, Anna turned to face me, urgency etched into her features. "Whatever happens, don't look back." What was that supposed to mean? With a loud creak, she pushed the door open, and we slipped inside. The air was cold and stale, filled with the unmistakable scent of mold and decay. Then, everything went dark. I blinked, trying to adjust my eyes to the dim light. Just as I started to take in the grim space, I heard a noise behind us. My pulse raced. Had we really escaped whatever was out there? But my unease deepened as I turned around. I wasn't alone in the cabin. Someone else was inside. My breath caught in my throat. A figure stood at the edge of the cabin, their silhouette illuminated by a shaft of moonlight filtering through a cracked window. Fear gripped me as I squinted, trying to make out their features. "Who's there?" I called, my voice shaky. The figure didn't move or respond. Anna stepped in front of me, her expression a mix of caution and fear. "Stay behind me," she whispered. She slowly raised her phone, its flickering light casting an eerie glow across the room. That's when I saw it. The person was wearing an old, tattered jacket, their hair long and wild, eyes glinting like shards of glass. The air felt thick with tension as we stood frozen, studying each other. "Please, we just need to hide," Anna pleaded.
The room felt smaller, and I could hear my heart thudding in my chest. "Hide?" the figure rasped. "You think that will help?" "What are you talking about?" I asked, my confusion mingling with rising panic. The figure turned slightly, as if contemplating their next words. "It can smell fear," they stated flatly. "It hunts when it senses someone is lost." "Lost?" I echoed, my mind racing. "What do you know about that?" Anna moved closer, her voice urgent. "Listen, we know it's out there." "Enough," the figure interrupted, raising both hands as if to ward us off. "You have no idea what you're dealing with." "Then tell us," I pressed, desperation creeping into my tone. For a moment, I thought they might help us, but their gaze was distant, lost somewhere else. "I've seen it. The warden," they murmured, almost to themselves, drifting into memories I couldn't grasp. "It doesn't just take you, it takes everything you are." Anna and I exchanged frantic glances. It was one thing to hear about the warden from Anna, but this new person's eyes told a different story. I felt a wave of unease wash over me. "We don't have time for this," Anna insisted, anxiety sharpening her voice. "We need to leave now." The figures suddenly focused on Anna, their intensity unnerving. "You can't escape what it wants. It lures you with whispers, and when it's done with you..." They trailed off, shaking their head as if trying to cast away a dark thought. "What do you mean?" I asked, feeling the pressure rise. "What happens when it's done?" "Those who return." There was a tremor in their voice. "You don't want to be one of them." Just then, an ear-splitting crack sounded from outside the cabin, as if something had snapped in the woods, followed by a low growl that sent chills down my spine. "Go!" the figure shouted. All thoughts of understanding vanished, and dread surged through me. "Anna!" I yelled, scrambling toward the door as she lunged forward, gripping my arm. "Don't!" But before she could stop me, I yanked the door open, revealing a dark expanse outside. The laughter from before echoed again, penetrating and close. It was a siren call, and as I stepped into the night, I could feel the weight of the warden's gaze bearing down on us. "What now?" I turned to Anna, but she was gazing behind me, her face pale. "Run!" I didn't need to be told twice. With the figure's words echoing in my mind, we dashed into the shadows, a sense of urgency propelling us deeper into the forest. But I knew, whatever haunted this cursed land was not giving up that easily. The trees closed in around us, their branches reaching like gnarled fingers. I could hear the crunch of dead leaves under our hurried footsteps. The laughter faded, but the growls grew louder, closer. My chest tightened with every breath as I glanced at Anna, her eyes wide with fear. "Where do we go?" I gasped, stumbling over a root. "Just keep going," she shouted back. "We need to find somewhere safe." The forest felt alive, shadows shifting in the corner of my vision. Every whisper of wind sent a shiver down my spine. With each step, I felt the warden's presence lurking, as if it could reach out and touch me at any moment. Suddenly, Anna skidded to a halt. "Look!" she pointed ahead, and I squinted into the darkness. A faint light flickered through the trees, tiny but hopeful. "Maybe it's a cabin?" I suggested, but doubt crept into my mind. "Or a trap?" "Does it matter?" Anna urged, her voice edged with panic. "We have to check it out." I hesitated, glancing back at the darkness we had escaped. The growling was still there, lurking like a predator. "Okay," I agreed, and we pressed on toward the light. As we approached, I saw the source, a lantern hanging from a wooden post, swinging slightly as if welcoming us. The area around it was clear of underbrush, and a narrow path led deeper into the trees. My heart raced. A part of me wanted to turn back, but that same part feared the warden more. We stepped onto the path, the lantern illuminating our way. But the light felt unnerving, like it was drawing us in deeper. "This place feels off," I said, stealing glances into the blackness around us. "It's just a lantern," Anna replied, though she couldn't disguise the tremor in her voice. Then I noticed something else. Touching the wooden post, I realized it was marked with strange carvings, runes or symbols. They were scratched deep into the wood, as if someone had attempted to slice open the meaning behind life itself. "What do you think these mean?" I asked, running my fingers along the markings. "No idea. Just keep moving," she said, urging me forward. I could hear her breathing, quick and shallow. We followed the path until it opened up into a small clearing. A dilapidated cottage stood in the center, its windows dark and grim, much like the figure we had encountered earlier in the cabin. My stomach twisted at the sight. "Do you want to check it out?" I asked hesitantly. "What choice do we have?" Anna replied, glancing over her shoulder. The growls were still present, a constant reminder we weren't alone. Veering toward the cottage, I could almost feel the air thicken around us. As we walked past the threshold, I noticed the door cracked open, swaying slightly on its rusted hinges. Then, everything went dark. "Anna?" I whispered, panic rising. I reached for her, but the darkness felt heavy, as if it had come alive to swallow us whole. Her voice broke through the stillness. "I'm here. What happened?" "Did you see that?" I murmured, trying to make sense of my surroundings. "It just went." Before I could finish, something jostled the door, and it slammed shut with a loud bang. "Run!" I shouted, grabbing Anna's arm. But she froze, eyes wide in horror. "Something's in here with us," she whispered. I turned just in time to see a shadow shift across the wall, a figure cloaked in black, its face obscured. I could see its eyes now, glowing like the embers of a dying fire. It was drawn to us, slowly inching forward. We had nowhere to escape. The shadow loomed closer, and I could feel the air grow cold around us. A low growl emanated from its depths, the sound vibrating through the floorboards. "We've got to move," I urged, but my feet felt glued to the ground. Just as I took a step back, the figure lunged. It moved in an instant, a blur of blackness that left me gasping. I yanked Anna out of the way. We stumbled back, colliding with a wall and sending dust motes spiraling into the air. "We need something to defend ourselves," I whispered, hunting for anything nearby. The cottage felt cramped, oppressive with shadows, and every creak of the floorboards echoed ominously. I spotted a rusted fireplace poker in the corner, barely visible in the dim light. "Over there," I pointed. Anna nodded and dashed toward it, her eyes darting to the figure which lurked at the edge of the darkness, watching us. As she grabbed the poker, the figure flickered, like a bad signal on a television. I blinked, and it was closer. Panic surged through me. "Anna, hurry!" I yelled, urging her back to my side. She came rushing, the poker clutched tightly in her hand. "What do we do now?" she panted, her voice quaking. "Stay close," I said, keeping my eyes locked on the thing in the shadows. It wasn't just watching. It felt as if it was planning, waiting for the right moment to strike. We edged toward the only window, hoping for a glimpse of the outside, but the glass was fogged and smeared. I tried to peer through, but all I could see was blackness stretching out into the night. The growling escalated, closing in on us. Then, something caught my attention. On a shelf above the fireplace was a dusty book. I had no idea why, but I felt compelled to reach for it. "Anna, over there!" Without waiting for her to reply, I climbed onto the hearth and grabbed the book. It was leather-bound, its cover cracked. I turned it over, feeling a strange energy buzzing from it. "What is it?" Anna asked, fear etched on her face. "Not sure," I admitted, flipping through the pages. They were filled with handwritten notes and strange symbols, similar to what we'd seen on the post outside. A sudden rush of wind blasted through the cottage, and the door rattled violently. I swallowed hard. We can't stay here.
The figure vanished momentarily, and I quickly shoved the book into my backpack. We have to try the back door. Maybe it'll lead us out. As we turned, the figure reappeared with a deafening snarl, its glowing eyes locked onto us. "Now!" I shouted, pushing Anna ahead of me and sprinting toward the rear door. I could feel the creature at my heels, a suffocating presence that filled my lungs with dread. With one last effort, I yanked the door open, and we burst outside into the night. But instead of freedom, we stumbled into a clearing swarming with fog, and I felt the chill wrap around us like a vice. Then, the growling stopped. The silence was deafening. I stood frozen, my heart thudding in my chest as the fog swirled around us. It felt alive, as if it was connecting with something deeper, something that couldn't be seen but was very much there. Anna clutched the poker tightly, her knuckles white. "Where did it go?" she whispered, glancing around. "I don't know," I replied, scanning the dark edges of the clearing. "But we have to keep moving." The air was thick, heavy with an eerie stillness. I squinted, trying to make sense of the landscape shrouded in mist. In the distance, I thought I saw the outline of trees, jagged and twisted. But the darkness made it hard to tell. "Let's head toward those."
"Trees," I suggested, my voice steadying with each word. Anna nodded, her eyes darting nervously. We stepped forward, moving cautiously through the fog, every sound magnified in the quiet. As we approached the tree line, a sudden rustle made us freeze. My stomach dropped. "Did you hear that?" I asked. "Yeah," Anna breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. Before I could respond, a low growl echoed again, just beyond the fog. It wasn't as deep this time. It was curious, almost playful. I felt a shiver run down my spine. Then, from the depths of the mist, a shape advanced. It was smaller than the shadow we had just fled, but equally unnerving. A figure with glowing eyes nestled low to the ground, its body coiled like a spring. I squinted, trying to see it more clearly. "Is that?" Anna started, but my hand shot up, silencing her. The figure stalked closer, revealing a wide grin filled with sharp teeth. My nerves screamed at me to run. "We need to turn back," I whispered urgently, but it was too late. In a swift motion, the creature lunged toward us. I grabbed Anna's arm and yanked her away, tumbling to the side as its claws narrowly missed us. The poker clattered from her grip, echoing against the hard ground. "Get up!" I shouted, scrambling to my feet. The fog thickened, making it hard to see our attacker. But I could still feel its presence, electrifying the air around us. As we struggled to regain our footing, I heard a faint voice echoing. It was weak but distinct, like it was coming from the fog itself. "Help me." "Did you hear that?" I asked, fear creeping into my voice. Anna nodded, her wide eyes fixed on the shifting haze. "We should find out where it's coming from." "Are you crazy? We should be getting as far away from here as possible." But something compelled me to take a step forward. The voice sounded so desperate, so real. Just then, the creature tackled Anna, sending her to the ground. I screamed and lunged toward them, adrenaline pumping through my veins. "Anna!" I grabbed the fireplace poker off the ground, feeling its weight in my hands. I raised it high, ready to strike. But before I could move, the fog swirled violently, engulfing us both. That's when I saw it, the shadowy figure looming above Anna, desperate and unknowable, as the soft glow in its eyes dimmed. Then, everything went dark. I wasn't sure how long I was out, but when I came to, I was alone. The fog was still thick, but I could feel the chill in the air more sharply now. I pushed myself up, my hands trembling as they touched the cold ground. "Anna?" I called, my voice cracking. No response. Panic surged through me. I scrambled to my feet, looking around frantically. The clearing was just as I had left it, but now it felt off, taunting me.
The trees loomed like watchful guardians, their twisted branches reaching out toward me. "Where are you?" I shouted again, but the only answer was the whisper of the wind through the leaves. My mind raced through what had just happened. The creature, the voice, the way the fog swallowed us whole. I couldn't shake the feeling that I had made a mistake. I should have grabbed Anna and run. Sudden movement caught my eye. I turned to the right, squinting into the mist. A shadow darted between the trees, fleeting and quick. I instinctively gripped the poker tighter, my heart pounding. "Anna?" No answer, just that chilling silence. I hesitated, torn between the urge to hide and the instinct to search. I chose the only path available. I moved toward the trees, hoping to find Anna, or at least a hint of what had happened. Each step was heavy with dread. The fog felt like it wrapped around me, both guiding and constraining. I could barely see a few feet in front of me, but the underbrush was alive with noises. Snaps, rustles, and faint whispers seemed to echo all around. Then I heard it again, the voice. "Help!" It sounded closer now, more urgent, pulling me in. I dashed toward it, pushing branches aside and stumbling over roots. "Anna!" I yelled, my voice thicker with fear. I burst through the trees and stumbled into a small clearing. There was a dim wash of light here, illuminating a figure slumped against a gnarled tree. My heart soared, and I rushed toward it. My hope was short-lived. As I neared, the figure became clearer. It wasn't Anna. It was someone else, an old man with a scraggly beard and tattered clothes, his eyes wide with terror. "She's not safe," he gasped, looking past me into the fog. "Where is she?" I demanded, breathless. "Lost," he murmured, shivering. "It's not just the fog. It wants her." I took a step back, fear flooding my body. "What do you mean? What do we do? We need to find her." But before he could respond, the air shifted again, growing colder. The mist swirled violently, and the old man's expression twisted in horror. "Run!" he screamed, his voice cracking as he pointed into the fog. I turned, instinct driving me to flee. But just as I did, I heard the growl again, closer this time. A flash of movement in my peripheral vision made my stomach drop. The creature was back, and it seemed angry. Before I could take another step, shadows edged in around me. There was no escape. "Help!" I shouted into the void, knowing that this time the call belonged only to me. Then the fog consumed everything. I blinked, and suddenly I was back where it all began, standing in the clearing near the old cabin, the early morning light filtering through the trees. My breath hitched as I looked around, my heart still racing. Shadows felt different now, quieter, as if they had retreated. But where was Anna? What had happened? The fog was gone, and I felt an eerie sense of calm washing over me, but beneath it lurked an anxiety I couldn't shake. I staggered forward into the clearing, my mind reeling from the chaos of the previous hours. "Anna!" I cried out, desperation clawing at my throat. But the forest remained silent, blanketed in an unsettling stillness. I moved toward the cabin, my heart pounding in my chest, hoping she would be inside, or that I'd find some clue to her whereabouts. As I pushed through the creaking door, a familiar smell engulfed me, mold and damp earth. I stepped inside, scanning the dim interior. Empty, just like before. Forcing myself to explore, I checked every corner, hoping against hope that Anna had somehow made it back. But it was fruitless. Something felt off. I reached for my phone, desperate for confirmation of reality, but the screen was blank, dead. My stomach twisted at the thought of being truly lost, with no way to contact the outside world. I took a deep breath, pacing back outside, where the light seemed warmer, but the shadow still loomed. "Focus," I whispered to myself. I had to calm down. I needed a plan. Maybe I could follow the path I had taken earlier, the one that led to the clearing, the strange voice. Perhaps I could retrace my steps. Reluctantly, I turned back toward the trees. Each step felt heavier, the scent of damp earth and rotting leaves filling my lungs. As I entered deeper into the woods, the whispering started again, a soft sound that drifted between the branches. It was almost melodic, wrapping around me like a silken thread. I felt its pull, but I steeled myself, reminding myself of Anna, of the old man's warning. I needed to find her, not follow the sound. I continued on, determined to resist the call of the unknown. Then, without warning, I stumbled over something on the ground, a small item sparkling in the morning light. I knelt down, and my heart sank. It was Anna's phone, cracked and dirty, but unmistakably hers. I clutched it tightly, feeling an icy grip of fear around my heart. What had happened to her? Just then, the whispering grew louder, and the indistinct shapes between the trees began to coalesce into something tangible. My heart pounded as the laughter echoed back, as if the forest itself was mocking my confusion. I turned, desperately scanning the area for Anna or any sign of her. In that moment, enough clarity washed over me to recognize the urgency of my situation. I had to leave this place. Whatever it was trying to do, I couldn't let it keep me. But even as I turned to escape, I glanced back, caught in the web of shadows that drifted closer. They flickered with an almost sentient feel, drawing me in and wrapping around the edges of my vision. Then, through the brush, I thought I saw a flash of movement. My pulse quickened. Could it be? "Anna!" I shouted again, my voice rising into the trees. But the whispers quickened now, louder, more insistent, drowning out the other sounds. "She's not safe. She's lost," they taunted, wrapping around my mind like vines. With adrenaline surging, I broke into a run, tearing through the underbrush. I didn't look back, driven by the need to escape, the need to find Anna. I grasped the remnants of the cracked phone tightly in my hand as I navigated the twists and turns of the forest. At last, I burst onto the main trail, gasping for air. The sun shined down brightly, casting a warm glow in stark contrast to the dark woods behind me. But the relief was short-lived. I kept glancing over my shoulder, half expecting to see the shadows pursuing me. Then I heard it, a faint call cutting through the trees, barely a whisper like a breeze. "Help me." Could it be her? My heart raced, caught between dread and hope. But the realization that lingered in the back of my mind was that I might not be meant to find her. The thought gripped me as I stood at the edge of the clearing, uncertainty swirling around me. Would I turn and follow the soft sound, the echo of Anna's voice? Or turn away, accept that whatever had taken hold of this place was darker than I could fathom? Before I could decide, the woods behind me thickened with shadows, closing in. My gut twisted. I backed away, taking one last look over my shoulder. I moved up the path, hastily making my way out, but that lingering whisper settled deep in my mind. They don't like visitors. And though I emerged from the woods, my body intact, I'd never be sure of what I left behind, or what search awaited me in the shadows they call home. I stepped out of the forest, the sun bathing me in warmth, but the chilling uncertainty stuck with me, entwined with memories of laughter and whispers that I would never shake. Where was Anna? I had barely escaped, but at what cost? "I need to leave," I whispered to myself, the haunting echoes still threatening to pull me under. I had survived, but I knew the question lingered and would forever haunt me. Was it truly over?